right, I'm not going to wait for that whole song to play through because I'm having a rant. Listen, Bryan Kohberger needs to man up. He needs to put his big girl panties on, and he needs to just settle in and be the little prisoner that he is. And that is how I feel about the latest filing by Ann Taylor and the cameras in the courtroom. I am so over the prima donna action. I don't know what to do with myself, sincerely. This is a man who in the middle of the night is sitting in his family kitchen with gloves on so that he can take his refuse and put it into baggies that he is then throwing away in the neighbor's next door trash bin. Why? Why, prima donna Bryan, would you go to those lengths to throw your trash away? Oh, because you have a secret? Do you have something to hide, Bri? This is absurd. Absurd. That filing on the cameras fired me up. I'm mad. Here's why. The 3 photographs that Ann Taylor is saying is the reason that she is saying that the people that were running the cameras, this is that they violated the court's order, was they took the regular courtroom production, or not production, wide view, and they clipped out the side view of Bryan Kohberger and blew it up as a static image as an accompaniment to a journalistic article that was written that was fact-based, might I add. Yeah, Ann Taylor. It was everything in the damn article is fact. You didn't have a problem in the world with what they wrote. Your problem was, oh, they're using pictures of my little boy, Bri, and they can't use his pictures. Check again. That is not what Judge ordered. He did not order that you can't have any images whatsoever of Big Bri coming out of the courtroom, did he? No. He said, do not focus the cameras exclusively on just Bryan Kohberger, as if you are waiting to catch his facial reaction. The judge's order said, do not focus exclusively on the defense table, because or also the prosecution table, the lawyers, because you run the risk of capturing an image of protected client communication or information. Correct? So I'm sorry, Ann Taylor, if your little princess Bryan, it doesn't like that, he's a creepy, ugly ogre. But the reality is that it is perfectly acceptable to go ahead and use photographs of your client. It wasn't that they were focused exclusively on Bryan's face. It was that they were looking at the television that was on the wall, and that caught Bryan's silhouette, and they took the silhouette. But hey, you know what? We can totally accommodate you, Ann Taylor. All of we YouTubers that are doing, YouTube videos and stuff about him, if you want us to use his nasty, ugly ass looking mugshot, we can certainly do that. No question. We can definitely do that. So I am livid over this court filing. If you're mad, put a 1. I'm just curious how many of you are as angry as I am. angry because it's so damn silly that if you read it, it is just silly. The filing is absurd. It's ridiculous. If I go, hold on, and I'll give you a link to a video. Copy. I got to go back over to this other. Here we go. Here is a link of my computer. Here for the truth is as mad as I am. Hell yeah. I am mad. Mad, I tell you. All right. So there's a link to a Harvard trained attorney, and I love her channel. I love her channel because she's probably the smartest attorney on YouTube, legit. When you listen to her, you're going to love her because she just explains things in really accessible ways, and her fame hasn't, gone to her head. You know what I mean? So she is so, it's just information saturated to maximum. She's amazing. So that is her video where she goes through the filings that Ann Taylor put out. That poor little Bri, he don't want no cameras taking no videos of him because he be so creepy. Yes, Bryan, it's fact. I hate to tell you, big guy, you're creepy. In the same way that Chad Daybell is goofy, you, Bryan, are creepy. And you have a host of factual interactions from your past where you have people at a restaurant that are putting notes in the computer system saying, keep an eye on this guy if he comes back in. That's how creepy you are, Bryan. And having a camera that is just simply watching the court and just reporting back on what all's happening in the court, and they happen to catch your silhouette, people are not just calling you creepy, and this is something new you've never encountered before, Bryan. You know you're creepy. And frankly, I will tell you this, Ann and her crew have cleaned you up quite a bit. They've cleaned you up. They put some nice suits, some nice clothing on you, and you're not even 1/10 as creepy as some of those old photographs. But hey, Ann, girl, if you want us YouTubers to go and use the photographs of creepy Bryan, we can totally do that for your client if that is really what you're looking for. I don't know why you would. You got him looking normal. He looks really handsome in his nice, expensive little suit that you bought for him. This is, I am so livid by the kid gloves. We saw this same crap go on with Lori Vallow. We saw a judge that treated her like she was the damn homecoming queen who had lost her crown. And now we got a damn guy who is getting his trash, wearing gloves, trying to sanitize the family trash bin. And we're supposed to believe that he's just some poor innocent guy that got set up by an unscrupulous law enforcement department. Bullshit, Ann Taylor. Bullshit. At least you're the one who has to sit next to the creepster in court every day. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm very angry about this, you guys. This is unfair to the family, the victims who were horrified and terrified in their last moments of life. It is a joke, Jana. This is that filing by Ann Taylor. Frankly, I'm going to tell you this, Ann Taylor. I am absolutely shocked that you lost your dignity to go in there and even file that. I can't even believe you filed that mess. I really can't. I would have thought that you were much more secure in your level of professionalism than to file something like that with the court, sincerely, honestly. Now then. Ooh, I'm mad. I'm so mad. So that is my rant. And I'm not going to go through and do the whole filing because, frankly, it is just embarrassing. Yes, Lynn, it is incredible. The guy was found with gloves on, separating out his trash in the middle of the night so that he could sanitize the family trash bins. What does that tell you? And if that's not enough, how about this? How about his own sisters? His own sister suspected that he was the guy. His own sister. We're not talking about a squeaky clean guy who was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now some unscrupulous, prosecutor is trying to set the guy up. That is not who we are talking about. We are talking about a guy with a past. That crap that he wrote on that very public bulletin board tells you right there the frame of mind that he is in. His friends came out of the woodwork, or his old friends came out of the woodwork. They all talked about what a bully and how mean and violent that he was to them in their childhood. This guy's not even out of high school, has 0 friends, and he's using heroin. Can we say antisocial, or are we just supposed to pretend like we don't notice? So this filing that is so similar in flavor to what we had to experience with Lori Vallow, that he is some kind of breakable porcelain doll, and we all need to be careful with him and treat him with kid gloves. This is just this is absurd. And frankly, if Judge falls for this nonsense, I'm not even going to talk about this case anymore. I'm not going to follow it because I am not going to be, I don't want to be exposed to such anxiety provoking decisions. That thing that went on with Lori Vallow just about got the best of me. I'm not going to do it again with this guy. I'm not going to. And if for some reason the Idaho courts feel like that it is their job to protect the accused, then just color me gone. I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. None. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's right, Jana. It is not worth the anxiety. Absolutely not worth it. And this idea, I did not get, let me be clear. I want to be really, really clear. Okay. The filing didn't bother me. I expected it was coming. This wasn't unusual. This wasn't weird or out of the ordinary. But I'll tell you what was incredibly weird. And if I can find it, I want to pull it up super quick and share it with you. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it real quick. You guys just entertain yourselves. Hold on. I'll be right with you. 1 minute. Hold, please. Hold, please. I wish I had some elevator music. If I had some there we go. If I had some elevator music, I could play elevator music while you guys wait, right? Dun 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 bum 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 bum. Well, where is it? Come on, man. Come on, man. Hold on. Why is it not sharing? Maybe it won't go across platforms. Okay, I got to start over. I got to go over to my Chrome. Let me go to Chrome, get my address, copy. Now I got to go back to Edge. Come on, Edge. Now I got to put that address bar, paste, go. Almost there, people. Almost there. It's probably going to run some ads, would be my bet. Got to make that money. Money, 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 money. Money. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get her done. All right, here we are. Present. Share the screen. Share audio. Kohberger is wrong to want cameras in the courtroom. Can y'all see that? You can. Thank you, Donna. You're a sweetheart. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm not going to play Harvard Lawyer's video because that's her content. That's how she's, making some money. So I'm not going to interfere with her job. But the reason that I want to put this up is I want you to see that this is actually what Anne is against. These are the 3 photos that she put into her court filing. Okay? This is part of the Harvard Lawyer is actually showing the filing, the document, right? And Anne inserted these 3 photographs, right? As saying, hey, judge, the camera operators violated your order, and here is the evidence. This is such BS. I'm telling you, I'm livid. Now then, what are you looking at here? The first photo and the last photo are very okay. I have no doubt those come from the wide angle camera, just as Judge agreed to. Okay. And then what they did is they went in and they took a screenshot, and then they cut out just the part that showed the silhouette of his face and then blew it up. You see how blurry it is, correct? Okay, so I mean, what can you tell from that? Does that look invasive at all? Does this look like Ann Taylor or any of the other defense attorneys were even close to him? Do you see any documents anywhere? No. It's literally the side of his face. And one of the pictures, he's looking straight ahead at the judge. And the other picture, he looks like he might be looking up at either the prosecutor or at Ann Taylor herself, arguing. He's not picking his nose. He's not rolling his eyes. He's not reading a document. He's literally not doing anything. He's just sitting there. Now, what's very interesting is that the photo that is in the middle, court was not even in session. The judge was not on the bench. This is a picture of him coming in the morning before court started. That's right. So, Anne, long shot, that you are reaching when you say that the camera zoomed in on your prima donna. You would be wrong. Those types of cameras, if they wanted to zoom in on him, they would have been crispy clear. Every single pore and blackhead and zit would be showing. Look at how blurry those pictures are. That was a screenshot off of the video in the position that Judge wanted it. And all they did was just crop out his silhouette of his face and blow it up. You can't even see his damn eyes. So I don't know what kind of little game she's playing, but let me just say this. There's a lot of people, okay? There is this movement on YouTube, maybe Facebook, but definitely YouTube. There is this movement of people that are convinced that Bryan Kohberger is an innocent, framed victim. We saw this before, didn't we? Do you remember when Chris Watts was innocent? Do you remember that? And then when they finally got him to prison and he recounts the story of how he takes the life of little Cece first. And then Bella says, is the same thing going to happen to me? And Chris says, yes. He recounts that whole entire story for us. And everybody just goes, oh, okay, well, I just won't comment anymore. Do you remember that nightmare? Do you remember the nightmare of the Ruchek family spending years of people saying that Shanann had Munchausen by proxy, that she was borderline personality disorder, that she was an abuser, that she was all of these horrible, horrible, horrible things. And the reality was Chris Watts and his family, they were the main culprits. Shanann was just trying to live her damn life. Remember that? Well, here we go again. There is going to be a group of people who are going to look at this and they're going to go, oh, yes, yes, Anne, you go, girl. This is it. He is an innocent man. This poor man has been so badly mistreated. He was the target of an entire police station, and they all worked together to make sure that prima donna Bry is guilty. Who's the real culprit? Who's the real killer? Well, you know what? His own sisters said maybe he did it. He's stealing things of value from his family members to hawk them to buy drugs before he ever turned 20 years old. That is a sign of an antisocial personality. He is not using marijuana or even Xanax or Adderall. This man, before he ever hit the 10th grade, was already graduated to heroin. Can anybody say antisocial? The facts are there. So I don't know why we're pretending that we got to treat this guy like, a special dude that's just been badly mistreated. It's not real. Everything that Ann Taylor put in that order is absurd. Now that's hands down. No, Ann, the orders of Judge were not violated. You are lying and misleading, and Taylor, what you filed is not true, period. Now then, the second part is that you've got 4 victims, the extended family members, and all of the loved ones, friends, co-workers, everything. At what point do judges and courts decide to say, yes, the trial is for the accused? It really, the trial has nothing to do with victims, other than the victims are the evidence for the wrongdoing of the person on trial. I get that. The legality of the law. I understand that. However, when you begin hiding court proceedings, it makes victims' families very nervous. Very nervous. And Judge, you have seen the effects of a full and total gag order shutting down all information, where you don't even have an information officer whose one job it is to keep factual information in the news and to speak out when BS is being reported by unscrupulous YouTube creators. You haven't even done that. And you have created a circus, Judge, by not having an officer of the court who is reporting to real journalists and saying, we cannot verify the story that was on YouTube's, I don't know, some channel. I don't even know what channel. We cannot verify. We have no reason to believe that WSU Kim, we have no reason to believe that she's even a real human being. Dot, The court has never heard that story from a credible witness. You don't have anything out there. And what you have created is this is the wild, wild west of conspiracy theories and outright lies. People are monetizing channels and making oodles of money with BS lies about Kohberger. And because the court did a blanket, just gag order, no information, we're not confirming nor denying anything, you didn't help a damn thing, Judge. You actually set up the worst possible case scenario for Bryan Kohberger. Because there's a lot of information that is circulating around Bryan Kohberger that if a juror were to hear it, they would instantly want to find this guy guilty. Like him hurting young people, young kids. So I don't know why you think that this is helpful. If you take a minute, get one of your court reporters, get someone to listen to YouTube and see what's out there, I think you're going to find out it probably would have been prudent to have an official court officer to do a report to say, this is factual, this is what we're willing to talk about, or we have no reason to believe this, there's nothing credible to support that particular conspiracy theory that's been put out on YouTube. You could do that to try to save your jury pool. Same thing as with this whole camera thing. I don't know how Ann Taylor thinks that she's protecting her client. Why not just do a stable, static, wide angle lens in the courtroom? You don't have to zoom in on anything. You don't have to zoom in on the witnesses. You don't have to zoom in on the attorneys. Just the static camera that just shows everything happening, because that increases the likelihood that the people in the courtroom are going to follow the law like they're supposed to do. When you start all this secret stuff, all this hiding information, that is where people get very, very nervous. And by having that camera out there, you stop a lot of rumor making. You look at the big court cases that we've all watched and commented on. None of this foolishness, none of it happened. The foolishness happens when they try to make the courtroom go dark. That is where all of the BS starts. So I really hope that Judge is going to be smart on this, and he's not going to give in to Ann Taylor and the little man of the hour, Big Bry. I really, really hope that he will go with wisdom and human nature, and he'll make a solid decision. I really do. I think for the family members, how many friends? My God, could we even count the friends? All four of these kids were very popular, very engaged in the college landscape. There's a lot of people that will be interested in this case. A lot. I know that the courts are not there for an auditorium of, popcorn eaters. I do get that. But I also think that all these family members, neighbors, friends at college, loved ones, they all have a stake in ensuring justice for their loved one that was so horribly murdered. And I can promise you this, they don't want the wrong guy to get convicted. Steve Goncalves does not want the wrong guy to get convicted while the real murderer of his family walks away. None of them want that. None of them. And when you start hiding things, that's where you run into trouble. Exhibit A is your little gag order, and look at the runaway BS on YouTube. The stories that have come out are, well, so ridiculous and asinine that I just completely abandoned the Kohberger case in terms of like reporting on it. I just quit talking about it because it was so ridiculous. All right. Oh yeah, absolutely casual wine. Yes, I 100%. Anne is, yeah, I agree. So many, she is really putting on a show. Absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, one of the problems they have, Liza, is Judge Boyce in the Kohberger Daybell. I'm sorry, Daybell. I've lost my Vallow case. Is the minute he did his order to take cameras out of the courtroom, that, and remember that was sanctions, right? That was a punishment. As soon as that was done, that opened up the door for every judge in Idaho to say, no, you're not going to put cameras in my courtroom. It's a shame. It's a real shame. All right. Now then, the other thing, so I hope that you will go to my new favorite channel. If I can get back over here to the beginning, I'll show you her face. I got an update on my computer and I just hate it. Okay, there she is. That wasn't very flattering. Okay, so that is my new favorite channel. And you really need to go at least watch this one video. It is a very, very good messaging and talking about the benefits of cameras in the courtroom and that they're good for, you know, for everybody that would be affected. All right. Now then, the other thing is that we have a real storm, not a California, whoops, sorry about that. Not a California tropical storm where everybody was freaking out in California and they thought the end of the world was coming and it was going to be awful and terrible and horrible. And that, you know, it turned out to really not be anything. I think it wasn't it Hurricane, was it Hurricane Hillary? Am I saying that right? Let's see. I have lost. Okay, there's my rant. But where did my StreamYard go? Hold on. Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. StreamYard. My edge. That is what it is. My edge is not. Edge is holding my computer hostage. Why? All right, you're off. It's stuck down here. Did I find you? I still didn't find you. There you are. I found you. Sorry about that, guys. That was weird. Okay. If you can still hear me, put a 1, please. I had seen judges closing court many times before. I preferred to watch our justice system at work, but big media was talking about the BK's fly. Are these reporters? Okay. Thank you, Liza. Liza can't hear me. Okay. It's blurry. Can't see who it is. It is blurry. like I said, I got an update on my, okay, I can get it to a clear point here. Hold on. All right, so is that that's still not very good, is it? But anyway, so this is Harvard lawyer. There she is. Harvard lawyer Lee. She is great. Really great. Love her broadcast. They're always so informative. Really, really great. So I hope that you will, take the link and go to her channel and subscribe. The reason that doesn't show me as subscribed is because I'm having to be on my Chrome instead of my Edge. So because the update got me all messed up. I got to change some settings. So Daisy Sunshine knows who she is. Yes, I love her, Daisy. And she talks like me. And so I feel, like I can communicate. So yeah, I love her. Now then. So the next thing that I want to talk about, so we're going to leave this whole Kohberger, Ann Taylor debacle behind because frankly, I'm just sick of it. Just, and I want to talk about the new storm that is brewing. And let's see what I did with my list of. Here we go, right here. Wow, I am having some serious computer issues, people. Let's see if I got this now. Florida. So there's a storm coming, Idalia. That's the name of the storm, Idalia. And Idalia could be a 3 or a 4. So California, this is a real storm. Okay, not tropical storm Hillary. Take a look at your computers or go to windy.com and watch Hurricane Idalia that is going to be coming in on the west coast of Florida, headed into Georgia, and then it'll go off, into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, Idalia, Florida. What is my computer doing? So those of you that are in Florida, please be careful. And the thing you need to be careful of is that there has been widespread gasoline contamination at Citgo stations. So do not fill your car up at the Citgo station. Okay. They, for some reason, they have delivered gasoline, put it in the storage tanks, and it was contaminated with a great deal of diesel fuel. And so many people have now filled their cars up, and the diesel has now destroyed their engine. So don't buy at Citgo, and you need to check your local area to try and get information on which gas stations in your area may be affected. Because the worst thing that could happen is that you could end up on the highway trying to evacuate from a Category 4 hurricane and your car break down on the side of the interstate. So this, I don't know if this was sabotage, an act of terrorism, or just good old-fashioned human error, right? People make mistakes. It happens. But be careful. This is not a storm to play with. It's going to be a true hurricane. And it's going to be a bad one with the Gulf water as hot as it is right now. We've got cool air coming in. It's going to be a real storm. So I don't know. I think it is very suspicious, the timing of this diesel contamination, but it is what it is. So please, 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 if you have filled up your gasoline since 8 o'clock last night, you need to go and get your car tested. You got to, or better yet, just abandon that car and take a different car. They do have to, they're in the process of cleaning out what they can get rid of, but they've got people trying to get out of Florida, and it's a unmitigated disaster, truly. So the Citgo stations, if you filled up after 8 p.m. last night, you are in danger of your car basically not running at the time that you're trying to get out of town. So make whatever, adjustments you need to. Take a different car, get gasoline at Exxon or something. But Citgo, bad contamination problem. It is at Citgo stations throughout Florida. This was something that happened at the original point. This was not one gas station. This is the Citgo point of sale. I'm talking about the wholesale. So if you use Citgo, you're done. You're done. All right. And they're saying the cutoff would have been 8 o'clock last night. If you filled up last night or today at a Citgo station, you have a problem, or you have a big chance of having gotten contaminated gas that is contaminated with diesel, which will actually destroy your engine in your car. Okay. Apparently, Kathy, so far that's all that I found was just Florida, which to me increases the chances of it being kind of an act of terrorism or domestic terrorism, or whatever. But it could have just been a mistake. It could have just been an accident. But it doesn't matter if it was on purpose or if it was an accident. You don't want to have your car filled full of diesel when you're trying to get away from a Category 4 hurricane. All right? All right. So look into that, people. You can Google it. You can look. You can get a whole list. There's too many gas stations for me to go through and read all of them. We'll be here all night. So Google it, find it, look and see if your area, your gas station is on the list. And again, this would have been filling up yesterday starting at about 8 o'clock, all night, all day today. You might have a problem. Okay. But the main thing is, do not rely on your car. If you got gas there, don't rely on that car trying to get away from this hurricane. You need a reliable mode of transportation. Okay. All right. Yeah, it is right in the storm's path, Casual. Oh, you're there. Oh, you better get caught up on what's going on, Casual Wine. I believe it's a Category 3 right now. But they're talking about a 4 when it hits land. It's going to cut right across Florida and go up into Georgia. Yeah. I stick with ConocoPhillips or Cenex. Be careful with anything Walmart. They are part of the bad guys. All right. Okay, people. Rant over. What do you think? We all right? Are we communicating? Let me see what you guys are saying. I believe it was a software error. Citgo has not been the only one. There are other refineries that have gone through it. Oh my God, that's terrifying, Liza. That is terrifying. That's going to be a lot of destroyed cars. You know what I mean? A lot of destroyed cars. I finished my yard. I've got poison ivy when I was weed eating. I hate poison ivy. It hurts. The ants are running and dangerous. They are about to be exterminated. Be careful with anything, Walmart. Lots of computer programs throughout the country. They don't want us talking and sharing information. Storm has been coming to Florida for 50 years. I know. I think it's just been alive the last few days. Oh, you're talking about a different storm. I know it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right. Good, Donna. Good, good, good. Very nice, Jana. So y'all tune in to your local news and keep up to date on what's happening with the storm, Be careful. Yep. And look up the list of gas stations. It's long. Very, very long. All right, everybody. I am done. I hope I didn't hurt your ears in my rant, but I am over treating Bryan Kohberger like he's, the belle of the ball. You know what I mean? The guy's got enough bad stuff about him that his own sisters, thought, hey, maybe he's our guy. So I don't think we don't need to, these guys that are arrested and stand in trial for murder, they don't need to be treated with, eider down quilts and fluff their pillows for them at night before they go to bed and feed them bonbons and warm milk. That is not required. That is not required. All right. Subscribe if you want to, but please leave a thumbs up. I will see you guys another day. Bye.